everyone. Welcome to my country, Canada. Cold place. You don't want to be out here. It's freezing. This is a frozen wasteland with little food, shelter, or resources. And I've installed several mods to make this even more challenging. First is a temperature mod. Okay, this thing, if my temperature drops too low, I'm gonna get hypothermia and die. And it's over then. I'm just a dead, frozen man. So I need to find a way to keep myself warm. And the second thing to make this even more challenging, it's a dynamic season mod. Yeah, so over the course of the next 100 days, winter's coming. It's gonna get progressively colder and colder as the days go by. It's, wow. Let's just say I'm a man who needs a really good shelter. Otherwise, he's gonna be very, very cold and dead. Before I start, though, I gotta say one thing, all right? You're gonna want to subscribe to me. Doing that will make me very happy. Be a man who's smiling, that's what I'll say. And you'll be smiling too. Yeah, trust me. I'm gonna be doing more stuff like this, where I document what happens to me, but I might do it in some other games too. Same stuff as it. You'll love it, okay? Trust me, subscribe, and also follow me on Twitter at Forge Labs. You already know where I got this idea from. My man Luke the Notable. Big thanks to him for letting me put a twist on a series like this. Okay, before I'm going out there, a quick word from this video's sponsor. Hey, this video is sponsored by Plink, and guess what? They're giving away a PlayStation 5 to one of my viewers. All you gotta do is use the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen and sign up for a free 7-day trial. You can cancel at any time. Okay, so what is Plink? Well, I'm gonna tell you what Plink is right now. Plink is a looking for group app. You use it to find people to play with. Some of the best people, some wonderful, wonderful people are on Plink, let me tell you. So what you do is you connect your favorite profile from PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, PC, doesn't matter, they're all there. And Plink's gonna take a look at what you've been up to, and it's gonna match you with some people who are just like you. You'll love these people, trust me. It keeps track of all the games you're playing. Let's say you're a man who likes Call of Duty, well, guess what? It knows that. You like playing PUBG, it knows that too. Fortnite, League of Legends, Grand Theft Auto, it doesn't matter. It'll find you. And it's gonna keep all your followers updated with what you're up to, your achievements, all that sort of stuff. It's it's good. And remember, for a chance to win a PlayStation 5 from Plink, you can click the link in the description or scan the code on screen. Thank you to Plink for sponsoring this video. Okay, enough. It's time to venture into the Great White North, where I will survive for the next 100 days. Day one, my man's things, wow, they started out real rough for me. Let me just say that. I thought I'd start things off by looking around and admiring the beauty of the surroundings, but no. I was attacked by a bear right away. Oh, Jesus! I didn't know there's bears in this. Oh, wow, that was good. Okay, no time to waste, my man. Just had to get to work right away. I was not going to be a man who was stuck out in the cold. So first order of business was to find flint. You need flint to make a knife so that you can get plant fibers, and then you can make a flint hatchet with those. You need that to get wood, and a lot of work just to get a little bit of wood, you know? You know what else I needed? Wool. I needed a lot of wool, let me tell you. But luckily, look at these little wolves. Help me out. Oh! Those wolves are going for that sheep. Hey, thank you. Hey, there we go. Hope they're not going for me. You guys are good. So I had some wool, but I still needed to find something hard that I could smash my flint on to get shards. Everything I tried, it didn't work. I was running around smashing flint on everything I could find, and nothing was working. I was getting very worried that I was going to freeze to death on the very first night out here. Whoa, okay, I know what you're thinking. Sean, my man, where's the glaciers? Where's the penguins? Well, I based this map off the show alone. Ever watch that show? They spend 100 days in the Canadian Arctic and try to win $1 million or something. This is what that looks like. I based the map off this version of the Arctic instead of the Arctic Circle because there's more to explore here. I originally tried doing this on a glacier, and wow, there was no trees, no caves, nothing. Just ice and snow as far as the eye could see, and it was boring to play and would have been even more boring to watch. But then luckily I found a village. I was so happy to find this village. And you know what? The village had a goose. Look at this man. Oh, Canadian Goose. Hey, how's it going? Shortly after arriving to the village, I realized I was a bit of an idiot. You see, I did not need flint. No, I could just break trees normally. I did not have that mod installed that required me to do all this, so I wasted an entire day doing nothing. Anyways, I made a wool chest piece and a bed, and went to sleep. Alright, day two. There was a lot of questions I wanted answered. Like, what do these villagers want to trade? What was going on with that goose? What was the guy doing in the village? Ooh! Golden goose egg. Golden, maybe you can melt it down for resources. Okay. Hey, what do you got? Oh! Oh! that? I almost died to a goddamn goose on day 2. So I took that man's golden egg and melted it down and got a golden bar. Pretty good. The next day, I had only one thing on my mind. Getting as much goddamn wool as I could, because it was going to get very, very cold very soon. So I went out to do that, but you know what? There was a problem. Of course there was. My man, the goose, was still pissed at me.
Scared of these geese. Just pissed at me. Oh, that is. Not dying by a goose.
This is the first 3 days dealing with a goose. Like, you know what? I don't want to be doing this. Don't want to be spending time with geese in the game. Anyway, so I ran the other way and went back to where I spawned, and I found all the sheep. I got a ton of wool. Very happy to get all this wool. It's going to be one toasty man, you know? Got a bunch of food, too. I was not going to be hungry. But while I was out there, I found this brick house. It had a bunch of stuff inside of it, so I decided I was going to make this where I was going to live for a little while. Hey, you can't turn down something like this, you know? Already ready to go for me. So I crafted some wool armor. Don't need to be cold anymore, and I went outside and just looked around. Oh, pretty nice out here. And look at this. I found some stuff frozen in the ice.
Look at all this. Oh my god. What's all this stuff down there? All the stuff I just found. Golden boots, golden pickaxe, these crystals, a leather tunic.
I also found some copper ore too, but I wasn't sure how good copper was. In the morning, I used it to make a copper saber. Yeah, look at this thing. It was good for killing turkeys. Tons of them. I want a little bit of a turkey killing spree. I really needed to stock up on meat because when the winter comes, some animals won't spawn anymore. They go into hibernation or something. And I had no idea which animals would hibernate, so I just killed everything, just in case, you know? And I found some more stuff frozen in the ice.
Oh my god, more stuff. A diamond!
But then I found even more. And you know what? That's too much. As much as I would have loved just to take all this and continued on, I know the comments that you all would have left. So you know what I did? I went into the mod settings and I lowered the probability of finding loot in the ice by 600%, alright? And you know what? That would end up being a decision that I would later regret way into this playthrough. When I was sitting in my shelter, freezing to... You know what? Anyway, more on that later. Anyways, I found 3 diamonds and a half-broken pickaxe. Not bad. So the thing about the brick house is that it's technically a dungeon. There's a staircase that leads down to it, and on day 5, I went down. It's spooky down there, let me tell you. But you know what's also spooky? Ghosts. And I have to tell you about a video that I recently made with my good friend Robert. It's kind of like this video, but we played Phasmophobia in VR. Now, you might have seen the first one where we played for the first time. This is a sequel to that, alright? This time we went to a prison, and let me just tell you, you gotta watch this video after you finish this one. But now we're going somewhere new. A prison. New to me, not new to Robert, okay? This guy did 7 years in federal prison for something he did in an Uno lobby on Xbox Live in 2006. Okay, so I went down to the dungeon, and I cleared out several floors. I found this sword that had mending on it, and wow. Last time I found something that had mending on it, I didn't know what it meant. Just left it in the chest and walked away, and a lot of people got very angry with me. Very, very angry. Freaked out. So this time I got it, alright? Day 6. I made some purified water because I'm going to need to drink it at some point. I was also getting stressed about making an Aussie liner. Now, you don't know what an Aussie liner is. It's a beautiful thing you can add to your armor that keeps you warm or cold depending on where you are. Self-adjusts your temperature. But to make one of those, I needed magma, ice, slime, and string. And I was a very long way off of getting all of that. So I just kept clearing the dungeon. The following day, I went exploring, and I found a village. Look at this. There's a Fletcher there. So I knew it was going to be good for arrows. No need to worry about those. Day 8. All right, yeah, I'm going to tell you about day 8. So here's what happened. I was starting to think about leaving the brick house, you know? Build something else, but to do that, you need supplies to do that. So I went out and gathered some supplies and did that for a little bit, but then I continued clearing out the dungeon. And I like this. Okay, so I was having this problem where sometimes I would strike a zombie and it would damage me. And then there was a whole bunch of them, so I didn't know which zombie to attack and which one not to attack. So I came up with a plan. I called it Zombie Hole. When you got a bunch of zombies like this, dig a hole and just lure them into it. And once they all go in the hole, you just seal it up. Boom. No need to worry about those guys anymore. They were down there for like 100 days. I spent pretty much the entire day and night in the dungeon doing that. Day 9, I came back up and I wanted to trade with the Fletcher, so I headed back to the village. This was a big mistake because by the time I got there, it was night and I was a very cold man. So cold that I almost froze to death. I told myself, you know what, I'm not doing this again. I'm not going to risk freezing to death out here. Then the very next day, I did it again. I went out exploring and I found a village, but problem was that despite marking my path there, I was totally lost. Yeah, it was a man who had no idea how to get home, no idea where to go or what to do, and wow, I really thought I was gonna die here. But then I was so relieved to see the glowing lights of a village. I stormed right in there, and you know what happened? It was the first village that I went to, and the goddamn goose was still there.
Oh my god, they're still mad at me. The geese are still mad.
The next day I continued exploring and I found another village which had a blacksmith with lava. This was good, so I grabbed it and I headed home, but for the third consecutive night in a row, I nearly died to the cold. But this was the worst one yet. I had no idea where I was, and honestly, I know I said the night before that I thought I was going to die, but no, this time I really truly thought I was going to die. But then I saw a torch and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm going home. Lead me home. I followed the torches and I barely made it home, but I did it, right? It's nice and safe. I took a break from exploring and went back to the dungeon, which was somehow safer than being outside. I went deeper and I found a floor that had tons of obsidian and magma block. I was so happy to see these magma blocks.
37 magma shards. Okay, hell yeah.
Giraffe
That's what you
Mama
gotta do.
TV.
I stuck around and got some XP and additional loot. Ooh, now that I had magma shards, that was very good. Very, very good, because it meant that I could start building a heating coil, which I could use to build... I could heat a house that I made. Very good news to get these magma shards. So I spent the entire day going out, looking for where I was going to build the house and getting supplies to do it. Day 14, I went mining. I was going to need some rock to build and obviously some iron. Coal, copper, all that stuff. So went mining, but my copper axe, it sucked. When I found redstone, which I needed, I could not get it. No, I needed an iron axe for that. So the next day, I went back down there and I found a bunch of iron. A man really needs iron. So I used that to make a new iron pickaxe, which then I used to get the redstone, so I could build the heating coil. You know what I also found? I found some diamonds.
Okay, see, is that diamond? Or what is that? I swear if this is that winter ore, I'm gonna be really mad. See? Palladium. This better not be palladium. Ah, it's diamond! Alright.
But on my way home that night, I nearly died to a skeleton.
Oh, you wanna play? Okay. Look at that. Look how close I was immediately. I'm gonna die like that. I'm going to die if I keep doing stuff like that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was becoming a very risky man. Way too risky, if you ask me. So the next day, I solely focused on building my new house. I like this location. It seemed peaceful and safe, you know? Two things a man really needs on a day like this. So I spent the day digging it out.
That's gonna be a nice little spot right there. It's gonna be pretty nice.
I did the same thing the next day, but this time I built a little campfire to keep warm while I was working. Look at this. It's so nice, you know? A little campfire, building your little house. This is something I like right here. This is good. But by the next day, yeah, my opinion changed on the house. I was not liking the way it looked. It just looked bad.
It's not looking good anymore.
So the following day, I thought I'd lower the floor by one block and see if it would make it look any better. And this was a big mistake because, you know what? I spent way too long doing this, got way too focused on it, and I was outside too long. I did not realize how cold it was getting, and I came very close to dying to hypothermia.
Oh my god, that was close. Oh my god.
Since I didn't like the look of the cabin, I thought, you know what? Maybe making it brick might look a little bit better. So I stole some brick from the house that I was staying in and brought it with me to test. On my way back, I walked along the frozen river. You know what? It reminded me of something.
It's like a frozen river. Reminds me of River Boys. The thing I used to do in high school.
Okay, River Boys, let me tell you about River Boys. So it was a game we used to play back in high school in winter. So our school backed onto a forest which had a river that ran through it. What we would do is, on our lunches, we'd go down to the river and walk along the frozen ice until either one or more of us lightly fell through the ice, you know? Like your foot or your leg goes through the ice. Real cold, it was freezing. Then you'd have to sit in class for the rest of the day with a frozen foot, soaking wet pants. It got so bad that I remember our science teacher was like, hey, you gotta stop doing this, all right? Stop doing this. I'm not gonna let you into class if you come back soaking wet again. But you know what? We loved River Boys. We loved it so much that we just started bringing an extra pair of socks or pants or something like that. Loved River Boys. It was so much fun. But then it all changed. See, we were going down to the river every single day for like 2 weeks. And what happened was that we broke so much of the ice from falling through and breaking it with sticks and stuff that we had to go further and further upriver every day just to find new unbroken ice. And the problem was that the river got deeper the further you went up. It was no longer just a little shallow stream under where we were breaking. No, it was a full flowing river at this point. But we kept playing the game, just getting riskier and riskier, you know? But then it got bad because we were out on the ice one day and the ice cracked, and my friend dropped through. It wasn't just his foot or his leg or anything like that. It was his entire body that dropped through the ice, and he just barely managed to grab on before he got sucked under. At the time, I didn't even realize what had happened. I remember laughing because I just saw this man drop, and then it struck me how dangerous of a situation this was. He was about to be pulled under the ice, and the current would have carried his body way down under the ice, and that would have been it. But this man was holding on, so we pulled him out. But to this day, I still remember seeing the terror in his eyes. Anyways, that was the last time we played River Boys. Look at this! I found a reindeer.
Oh, reindeer! Hello! How's it going? You guys are cool. I like you guys. Can I ride you? I can ride it! I can ride a reindeer!
I rode this man home and I brought him in my house, which ended up being another decision that I would soon deeply regret. The next morning, I was worried about my man. I had lava in my house, and I did not want this man to go walking into it, so that would be heartbreaking, you know? But as is tradition, I named the man.
Okay, this man needs a name. You know what I'm gonna call him? Mucknuck. I actually like that name. That's a good name. Mucknuck. Alright, you're staying in here, Mucknuck.
Couldn't stop thinking about where I found him. That area looked good. It looked way more like the Canadian Arctic than where I was building, so I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna build there instead. On this nice little plot of land right next to a lake. This is gonna be good here. So I built a little campfire and I started clearing it out. Then I rode another reindeer home. The following day I went back and continued building, but yet again I made a big mistake. Stayed out way too long building, and I had to desperately dash home. I was on the verge of freezing to death, and it became clear to me that I wasn't going to make it home. So I had to think quickly, otherwise I was going to die. My first thought was, I'm going to kill this reindeer and crawl inside of him, but there was precious time and I wasn't sure that this would be a function included in this mod. So my second option was to just dig a giant hole and build a fire at the bottom of it, so I did that. But there was a new problem. Yeah, look at that. I was thirsty. So I had to climb out of the hole once I was warm to try to get some water, and wow, I immediately was attacked by several mobs. So I had to run, and with just one heart left, I ran home.
Holy crap. My hands are shaking. Holy crap. Holy crap.
My hands were shaking, and I thought I was going to die, but I didn't. I made it home, and I put some meat on the furnace, drank some water, and started to warm up. I was safe. Or so I thought. Remember when I said that bringing the reindeer into my home was a decision that I would soon regret? Well, it's time to show you why that is. So after cooking the food and warming up, this man kicked me into a wall or something. So there I was, laying dead. Cause of death, kicked in a wall by a reindeer. And I thought, you know what? Hey, that's not my fault. I was murdered by a reindeer. How can you blame a man for that? So I decided, I'm just going to continue on. I'm going to convert the world to survival, and that's that. I don't want to hear any comments about this, all right? The only comment I want you to leave is, wow, on day 22, I feel so sorry for you. That reindeer murdered you, and it's not your fault, and it's good that you switched to survival mode. All right, leave a comment like that. So after I brought myself back from the dead, I told myself that I would not die again. And that if I did, no matter what happened, it was my fault. Which also became a decision that I would later regret. Day 23, I spent the entire day looking for wool since I had lost everything. Most of my stuff landed in the lava or despawned and it was gone. So I made iron weapons and found enough wool to make a jacket and boots. The next day I had an idea. You know, I don't want to be stuck outside freezing to death ever again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a bunch of warming stations between the old house and the new house I'm building so that if I inevitably, when I do stay out too long, I can just stand by one of these warming stations and everything will be okay. So that's what I did. To build them, I needed the lava, so I went down to the dungeon and I got some, and boom, it was good. I also got some carrots, and I learned that I could feed them to the reindeer.
Let's see if my theory's right. Do you like carrots? Yeah, he loves them. Nice.
I built the warming stations and returned home, and I tried to sleep, but I couldn't because there was a monster outside. You know what? This was a trap. The look of the black cobblestone I was using, but I needed more of it, so I went into the mine and I mined 2 stacks of it. Additionally, I got some more wood. Day 26, I was back to working on the house, and you know what? I forgave my man Mucknuck. We played Jump the River.
That's a huge jump. So you can jump over this. Ready? Oh, that was good. Wow. Oh! Barely made it. Right here, you can make it. Ooh, hell yeah!
I made the floor out of slabs. It looks good. Makes the windows look a little bit better, you know? But you know what? Stayed out way too late again. It was dark and cold, and I would never make it back alive, so I dug a hole and I just stayed there throughout the night. In the morning, I climbed out of the hole and kept working. I built a double-ended fireplace in the center, which made the house look nice and also kept it warm. But the sun was setting, and I learned my lesson, so I went home. The next day, look at this. I found an eel.
Whoa! What is that thing? Raw eel meat.
I needed sand to make the glass, so I followed a river until I found some, but the problem was that it was underwater, so I was going to be a cold, cold man, but yeah, I jumped in anyways and started getting it. When I came up for air, I almost came up under the ice, which... That's scary stuff right there. But I got the sand, went home, and started cooking it. Look at this. Look at this man. Look at this guy.
Look at my man. Sit outside the... Hey, I got one guy outside, one guy inside. One guy out. One guy in. Pretty good.
I worked on the house, but ran out of black cobblestone. I was getting concerned about the fireplace was either too big or in a bad spot, and didn't know where I was going to put my bed, but you know what? Yeah. So the next day, I went back into the mine and got more black cobblestone. The stuff was, I really like the look of this black cobblestone. I also brought the bed with me back to the new house and set it up. I wasn't a fan of where I put it, but it was temporary, so it was fine. I did not do much on day 32 besides get wood and work on the deck of the house. I did notice, though, that it was getting colder, and that scared me. The following day, I had to go back to the old house to get some stuff. On my way there, my reindeer fell in a hole. You don't worry, though. This wasn't Mucknuck. It was some other guy. So I just grabbed another one and moved on. Went mining.
There we go, baby. Those diamonds, right? Yeah, look at that. Ooh, big vein. That's what I like. 6 diamonds. Not bad.
I spent the entire night mining black cobblestone. Came up out of the mine in the morning, and I went back into the old house, and guess what? Look, my man Mucknuck got the guy, and rode him home. So happy to get this man home. Wasn't really happy with how the roof was looking, so figured I was going to start doing that now. The next day, I worked on the roof more, and I needed more wood, so I went out and I got it. And I also built this nice outside area, and I thought this looked pretty good. Day 36, worked on the house. Just, building. That was the name of the game here. Look, I started building like an expansion to it. To keep up with all this building I was doing, the next day I went out to get more building supplies, but you know what? There was a big problem. When I walked out of the door, I realized I had absolutely no idea which one of these men was Mucknuck.
Hey, you know what I just realized? I don't know if this man's Mucknuck. How can I trust this guy? Is this him? There's like so many of them. You come up here, there's like 2 there. A bunch there. How do I know if this guy's Mucknuck?
So then and there I realized I need a name tag and I need one bad. If I see one, I'm gonna grab that for sure. So I went to the oldish house, you know, the one that I gave up on after like 2 days. I tore it all down, got all that precious wood, and brought it back. And I warmed up by the fire, and my man's, look at this, it was nice. Just a man relaxing in his house. Little did I know that absolute misery was waiting for me. Turns out that this entire time that I was playing, I didn't even have seasons enabled. The whole winter thing, yeah, it was all in my head. It wasn't getting colder, this was just the default temperature. So you know what, I fixed it. I got the seasons mod installed, I set it to late autumn, and wow, it got so much worse. My first priority now was getting a season clock so that I could track how far along the winter was, you know? There's nothing worse than not knowing how many more days it's gonna snow. But to make a season clock, you need nether quartz, which meant I was going back to the dungeon. I figured it would be somewhere down in that lower level that I got to, and it's dangerous down there, so I made a diamond saber. And yet again, I immediately regretted it.
This is 6 attack damage. Let's see how much a halberd does. 1 extra diamond and it does 14. Oh my god. Can I smelt this saber down? Please tell me I can smelt it down. I can't smelt it down. I just wasted. It would be 1 more. Oh my god. Oh. I go down to 6 diamonds if I do this. This is such a waste. Why did I do this? So I can wear use. Oh my god. Such a waste, man. Such a waste.
When I got down into the dungeon, I found nether quartz right away. That was good. A little bit of luck, you know? Very happy to have that. I took the opportunity, though, to grab a bunch of obsidian, because I didn't know if I was going to go to the nether or not, and this stuff is just useful for whatever reason, you know? So I got a bunch of it, and I started fighting some mobs and exploring more of the dungeon. I killed a wither skeleton, and I got diamond boots, yes.
Ooh, diamond boots. Look at that.
And then, look at this. One of those little guys almost got me. Spent the whole night down there going around looking for stuff. Look at this, I got an anvil. By the time I got out of the dungeon, it was nearly the end of day 39, so I just rode home and went to bed. So I made the season clock, and just as I suspected, because I said it that way, it was late autumn currently, which meant that I had a small amount of time before things got absolutely brutal, but not much. So I went out and looked for wool, because I was gonna need a lot of it, but sadly, could not find any. No wool for a man like me. I did, however, find a beach, so at the very least I got some more sand, but my man said it was getting cold. Getting very cold. I had to make a fire to warm up and run home. The next day I went out again looking for wool, because I was a man who wasn't ready to give up, you know, and look at this, I've been a little bit. But by the time that happened, it was very cold out. I was very, very, very cold, and it was getting dark, and there was absolutely no way I was going to make it home alive. So I went to this village, went in the house, and realized I gotta use a little bit of wool. Gotta use a little bit of wool to make a bed so that I can survive the night. So I did just that, and yeah, that was that. The next day I went straight home, and I made a heating coil. These things, you need something like this to get through the winter. Let me tell you, a man is not making it through the winter without one of these things. So I made it, set it up, and boom, I was very happy to have this. Very, very happy. Kept me nice and warm, you know? So I thought, you know what, this is good. Why not have a bunch of these around my house? That was my new plan. Day 43. Let me tell you about day 43, okay? I had slime on the mind, you know? Ever get that slime on the mind? I really wanted to...
Shut up! So, this is Forge Labs channel. I just recorded it, so bye.